morning. My name is Elisa. This class is titled Neurogenic Yoga. It is based off of a system of exercises. There were 8 exercises originally, and they were developed by Dr. David Berceli. Now, he's the world's most renowned traumatologist of our day. He has learned by observing animals as well as humans that we have a natural ability to be more resilient every day, as long as we can be in conscious sense of our body. So like when we get nervous or, the jitters we feel sometimes, it's kind of like our guts talking to our brains. So instead of not understanding where it's coming from, this system just kind of helps you move into your body so you can see how your brain and your belly loop together. And it just adds for more integrity with everything we do as humans. So it's just like a duck. The water just comes right off of it just feeds the water right off of its feathers. Stress and tension become just like water. It feeds off of us just like ducks in water. Welcome. Yeah, no worries. Just settle in. Giving a slight explanation. Now, we can take a comfortable seated position. It is always nice to kind of raise the hips a little bit higher. That's why if you don't have a blanket, sometimes it's really nice to get a blanket or a bolster to just lift yourself up. So go ahead and take a second. Do you want me to bring you anything? Cool. So as you start to feel your sit bones, you can actually reach behind you and feel like this triangle bone. That's your sacrum. So go ahead and just place one hand, maybe your right hand on your sacrum, and let your other hand start to find where your pelvic bone is. And then that way you can start to feel just where your bone placement is. And notice if that tailbone is curled under, or if it's kind of coming out. But see if there's a neutral for you. So you can even kind of like lean forward or lean back. But see if you can find a stable place that's neutral for you. When you notice what's neutral, you'll notice maybe your breath starting to fill up a little bit more in your belly. Maybe your diaphragm starts to raise up a little higher into the lower portions of the rib cage. And then even moving into the higher nodes of the lungs. And just bringing your awareness there with every breath. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Now go ahead and let your eyes close for a minute, just kind of feeling your neutrality. And you will hear some sound. I do open my classes with a little bit of invocation. Nityanandam parasukadam Kyolam Gangana Murtim Palatitam Gangana Sarisham Tatpamat Sarit Shaksham Ekam Nityam Velam Machalam Sarvidi Sakshi Bhuttam Palatitam Trigunaраhitam Satgurum Tam Namami. This invocation just helps the idea that bliss is a natural state. And with every breath, we can contract our neutrality to remember it's bliss. Atta Yoga Nushasanam. Draw yourself into the present moment. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Allow the fluctuations of the mind to cease. Tada Drashtu Svarupe Vasanam, so that the seer within sees it all. Calm, like the eye of the storm. And with your next exhalation, let your eyes just slowly close. Groovy. So we're just going to take our hand, and as if we're pushing through honey, we're going to extend the fingers really wide. See how the elbows can come out, but try to squeeze them into the midline of your body. And just really focus on pushing, like if you're blood with honey, out to the ends of your fingertips. Feel these fingers expand and the joints move. Inhale into the chest and see if you could engage the shoulders by having them kiss. And then press your hands forward, like you're moving a ball through that honey. And then just let the hands fall down and drag them back. It's almost like you're going to drag them through sand. So inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, let them kiss, and then push the honey fall away from you. And then drag the sand all the way back. Now the slower we go, the more that we feel that honey and that resistance in the joints. You can get your exhale on the out. Inhale, dragging the sand back towards you. Exhale, pushing out. Inhale, dragging towards you. And just go with your own breath for a few more cycles. That way you can start to feel and breathe into anything that you notice in your body. The next exhalation, push the hands out. Inhale the fingers back in. And make like little duck hands. When we take all of our fingers, because we have all of the elements at our fingertips, we can take ether, air, fire, water, and earth and bring them into mudra. It offers us more space. We can bring that space into our shoulders and then almost like lifting them up. Slowly feel what it's like and notice any tension as you slowly bring that out, as if the elbows were going to point out to the sides of the room. Expand the chest and see if you can breathe all the way up into your fingertips, into those high attachments in the lungs. And then exhale, push the elbows out, softening the shoulders. Almost as if you can imagine the expanding of the back of your shoulder blades in between. Inhaling, squeezing in. And then exhaling, pushing the elbows out across the room. Inhaling in. And then exhaling out. Now just sit here for a moment. See if you just notice, let your eyes close and notice anything in your abdomen, anything in your chest or shoulders. And try to soften your belly. Inhale, lift almost as if you can feel now the pubic bone lift with your inhale. Rising the shoulders up, and then exhale, push those elbows out to the sides of the room. Inhale in again, and then exhale, let your hands come open and out. Now this time it's going to be like you're carrying a lantern. You know, it was I think there was a Bible quote, you know, stay up all night, keep those gas lanterns burning. So I sometimes feel like I always have to keep those gas lanterns burning. So this way we're holding ourselves and holding our lanterns up. And if you can imagine that your heart and your rib cage is opening up your breath so that your hands can actually hold your light from your heart. Inhale into your chest and start to kind of feel your shoulders rotate. Super slow, again, like you're moving through honey. Thick nectar. Inhale, raise your hands up slightly. And then exhale, see if your shoulders can keep rotating forward. So utilizing the top of your diaphragm to fill your lungs. Inhale, the hands come all the way up, interlace the fingers so that the index comes to a point, and then draw your shoulders down into the sockets. Now from here, you're actually going to feel the expansion, like you're pulling your shoulders apart, not your hands. So when you feel like the extension is coming from your shoulders, draw your belly button almost in towards the inside of your spine. See if that head starts to grow up through your arms like a little flower. Inhale, feel the chest expand, even extend the arms all the way up. Some people, they come out of their socket, some people stay in. But find what's right for you. Feel the abdomen lengthen, and then exhale, draw the shoulders back into the joints. Strong, from the midline of the back down, all the way up to the fingertips. And inhale your hands, and notice that they just float down all by themselves. Good. All right. Now, we're going to take our movement from our hands and our shoulders, and we're going to take a blanket and come onto our knees. If it's uncomfortable to go onto the knees, you're actually going to just lift your bottom and bend your knees. Like literally just bend them. Okay. So it almost creates like a lengthening of your spine. Okay. And then a pooling, because you're going to start pooling the blood towards the abdomen. This helps for stronger digestion by getting that fire burning. For me, it is comfortable for me to sit on my knees, but I still like a blanket actually on the tops. Yeah. It's more of a funky one, but it makes like a little cushion. So now we're going to extend the arms out again, and this time we're just going to flap them. So you just let your arms kind of flap and let your elbows, like you have eyes at the elbows, point up towards the ceiling. And let them be kind of loose. We start to shake out our hands, kind of move them out in the periphery a little bit. Be up a little bit higher. Now, I was a big girl at one time. So in this, I really like to get all the flesh to move. Like there is no shyness when it comes to tissue. And you really just want to get that to actually move. So even if you can imagine that your wings are shaken out, it gets all that nerve endings to talk to each other again. Now take your hands, slowly bring them into your abdomen. Just let your eyes close for a minute. There's great things to do after you eat, sometimes even before. Inhale, exhale, push the arms out again, and just let them shake. So again, we do it out to the front. Noticing the eyes of the elbows kind of coming up. Bending into the elbows and out towards the periphery. Yeah, you can flopping around. And now, contrary to popular belief, get that stuff moving. And then this time, shake it all the way up. See if your hands can become like feathers. And then this time, just rake, like you're raking straight down. Almost feels like your hands all around your hands. Really. Now we're going to come up onto our feet. I tried to have a matching theme, I guess. So we're first going to want to take our feet, go ahead and make them like 11s, but just to the outside of your mat. You can use your mat to kind of gauge what we're doing here. And then bend into the knees slightly. We found our sacrum bone, so let's kind of bring our awareness back to that, and then back to the pelvis. And then, again, we're going to feel it tilt and what our natural tilt is. So take a chance to bend into your knees, feel your center of gravity come down, and then play with the neutrality again of the tailbone, the sacrum, and the bone. This just starts to give our awareness an opening of the joints in the hips, as well as starting to talk to that psoas muscle. Help pump that cerebral spinal fluid back up into our brains. Just take the pelvic tilt a few more times. And you can really accentuate it so that you can know what the ramifications of your body can do. But then you can start to slow it down and really micro those movements with more control. You can inhale like you're breathing energy into that hand that's holding the sacrum, and then exhale, just kind of let it all down next to you. Perfect. Good, shake out the feet the first time. There we go. So we're going to take our left foot, go ahead and spread it wide. So it's like opening up on all, like your foot's a tripod. You have 3 points, one on either side of the toe in that heel. And then it's almost like the other foot wants to step forward and put the weight into that opposite ball of the foot. That way you can steady your balance. And you're just going to lift it slightly and start to move the ankle around, stretching the toes. So you have a strong leg holding you down. Now, this time, go back the opposite way and imagine again you've got like honey that you have to work through. Something that's thicker than water. Texas, imagine you're moving through oil. Right? And then back to the other. Slowly those joints. Shake out a little bit and put it down. Again, it's that tripod of a foot. Really making sure it's evenly grounded, the arch of the foot kind of coming up. And then again, just stepping forward so that you know you've got the weight in the balls of the foot, and the knee just comes right up. Move again. You're moving through that big connector. Sometimes you can even feel your own nerves, veins, the lack of feeling. And then the opposite way. Get that flop again, and then just pull it down. Again, take your feet to the outside, just like those 11s. This time, bend into your knees, and see if you can. When I was a kid, my parents would make me do the skiing, but it was cross-country skiing. We had to learn to push our feet off, almost like ice skating even. So yeah, bend into the knees and just slowly feel yourself push off from one foot to the other, keeping the entire foot grounded. See if you can do it with keeping the whole foot grounded. Bends into the knees, you can feel it even through the thighs. And back up. Exhale down. Down. Notice the slight bend in your knees, and then come back to your sacrum again, and check the neutrality of your pelvis. See if you've kind of shifted or rotated, or if anything's changed for you. like kind of shake to them already. That's what we're going to get to. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to bring our feet, just like the toes are coming together, but I like to bring the heels just slightly out. So the toes will come together, but the heels will come out. And then a slight bend to the knees. So it's almost like you could feel the sacrum start to spread towards the outside of the back. And then imagine that you have a string at the mounds of the big toe, and it pulls up all the way through the inner thighs. You can inhale and almost feel through the center of your abdomen. Yep. All the way up. So try to bend the knees slightly, but still engaging up through the pelvic floor. Feeling the diaphragm rise up. And go ahead and take the hands and press them together. This way it gives you a lifting feeling up through the chest, all the while grounding your heels down. Pointing that tail going down towards the earth. Inhaling in. And exhale, press the hands together a little more. Inhaling. And all the while exhale. Letting the hands press together, creating heat. Now if you notice the accentuation of your exhalation, it'll allow for some higher inspiration. So this next exhalation, really squeeze all the air out of you. Squeeze your hands together, use your elbows, use your chest, use your every part of you. And inhale again with the hands. Just see what happens when they come up. And then come out to the side. Just has this natural flow. Cool. Now start to shake out the arms a little bit. It's also good to the heels a little bit here. It helps us stay grounded. Cool. Now we're just going to face one side of the room. So let's everybody all face this way. Now this is just going to be a really gentle forward bend. And if you have any heart or blood pressure issues or anything like that, it's literally not like a forward bend. The focus here is to actually feel the sit bones start to lift up so that the spine keeps elongating through a long head. So you can even keep bending in. Not everybody looks like me, so just go to where is comfortable for you. So if you can get the hands down, yeah, or if you can walk down the wall, really ensuring that you're bending into your knees to lift up those sit bones like a little baboon is going to come out and give you a sniff. Yeah, laughter's good. Yeah. This way you can start to really feel also the small of the back has its own curvature. So you can even kind of start to play with that a bit by the use of your hamstrings or the back of your legs. Draw the shoulders back and you can use the hands like gecko hands to shine the collarbones through. Now exhale, if it's possible for you, just let that head hang at whatever position you're at. If it's comfortable to keep your hands above your knees or below your knees, that's good too. Just let that head kind of shimmy down. And if you can imagine again that honey could just drip all the way up your neck and then all the way up out of the crown of your head. Exhale fully. And then as you inhale, engage your thighs, engage your belly, and slowly squeezing your spine, letting it unravel all the way up. Inhale the arms all the way up and exhale, let them come out to the side. And this one, it's kind of funky because you let the wrists, like the fingertips are coming up. This time you're going to just turn and look at one hand and then turn and look at the other. So it really keeps the eyes of the elbows focusing up towards the ceiling. the joints of the shoulders squeezing into the midline of the body, but all the while the hands extending farther out. Sometimes you can even feel the pecs engage. And triceps. This is what gets rid of the underarm wall. Inhale into the hands, exhale, push everything out again to the periphery of the room, and then exhale, let the fingers just drop down. Just kind of let them dangle out and see if there's anything in the wrists that's kind of sticky. Inhale, let them come parallel. And then just notice if you can soften into your elbows if your hands start to tremor or shake a little bit. Notice what that is. You can't, when you bend the joints, you can sometimes actually make it more. So the softening of the joints is where we want to go. Inhale, bring the arms all the way back up. And then exhale, just like as if you're pulling a cord all the way from the highest of your own North Star, and just anchor that all the way through your center of you, just like you're drawing a string down. Very slowly. Cool. Come back to the end of your mat. Now, this time we're going to do a tree pose. So if you want to have the wall there. But I'm going to actually request, instead of going into like an actual tree pose, stay really low. And almost bring your feet, like if you could rest it on top of your ankle. And bend into the knee. So it's almost like you can feel like your balance wants to throw you off, but your toes know how to grab on like the strongest gecko ever. It just has that grab to it. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, see if we can settle that knee and bend in just a little bit more. Just standing here. Inhale, let it grow on up out. Stretch that foot out and place it back down. Exhale the arms down. Bend into those knees. Inhale, bring that foot up. And just again, place it right on top. Notice how your flow can throw you off sometimes and bring you back. But all the while, those sticky fingers, sticky toes, you know what to do. Again, inhaling in through the nose so you can feel the chest fill. And all the while softening into that standing knee. So that your center of gravity comes a little lower. Inhale in. Feel yourself grow up out of that leg, extend the toes out. Now we get to come onto the floor. This is where things get fun. We want to make sure that everybody does have a blanket. I'll show you what these poses look like first. That way you guys get an idea of what each position will be like. Try to take a blanket and have it over my mat, just because it adds extra cushion on my spine. The thing about the human body is I never know what anybody's ever been through. Just as I don't even, I'm not even fully conscious of the effects that everything has around me. So this gives my body a little more cushion to be able to move freely. It's almost like giving the body permission to unwind with a little bit of safety and secure blinking. So the first position is laying down. Now your shoulders and your hips and your knees are all in line, but we let the heels come out just slightly. This is our resting position. If at any time it's uncomfortable or you feel like you're disassociating in an unpleasant way, you will always have 110% control of how the tremors and how this mechanism works through you. Just like a roller coaster has brakes, you pull your feet up towards your nose and it takes the bend out of your legs and will slowly bring to end your session if you choose to. That way you have control. But the first of the positions that we'll get into, and I will walk you through when we get to them, is we'll let the feet come together so the soles are together. Now, the heels are actually comfortably away from the pelvis to let the psoas fully relax. And then we just slightly press the hips up towards the ceiling. Now you'll notice my body rocks. This is how we want to be. Now if we hold this pose stagnant or straight like we've always been taught and rigid, we don't always get a chance to experience what our flow or what our pelvic rhythm is. Sometimes there's gross movements or large movements. Sometimes there's very subtle movements. And sometimes it'll even start to move up the spine. So there's freedom to move your arms and your shoulders even. And then we'll slowly rest the pelvis back down and we'll rest with our legs open. If it's comfortable for you, you can let the legs go straight out as well. It's really experiencing and having an experiment to see what works for you. The second, we'll bring the feet in about an inch or two at a time so that the knees get closer together. Now you'll notice here that the tremors are a little bit different. So we're engaging almost a more subtle release of the psoas naturally, but it will create tremoring that will continue to rise up through the body with every motion. When the feet start to get like really close, this is ridiculous. Don't ever hurt your ankles. Like the point of it is not to find any discomfort. So really honor the body and let those feet come back down on the ground. We'll all wait for each other. And we'll be in this position. And then when we get here, we just let the legs come open. And then again, about an inch or two. Now with every breath, the body actually gets more settled. When the body gets more settled, it's able to do what it does. And that is releasing muscles and contracting muscles. So consciously being aware of the breath as it comes in, and then exhaling. Now we can stop this at any time. It's just going to continue back to my pattern even if I start it again next week. Because my pattern's always my pattern. So we'll continue to move these out and then in. And then we'll just rest the body all the way out. And then on completion, our Shavasana will actually be in a fetal position. So it's almost like we can feel ourselves seated back in. And then upon lifting, the head will be the last thing that comes up. And we really want to take notice of everyone around us, the space around us, where we're sitting. And it depends. You can also even take notice if you look outside first when you come back, or if you look around you and you look inside first. So it's just kind of like having an experiment with your body and playing with it. So the first position we'll get everybody into now. I'm going to get some, yeah, you got blankies. Kind of come up towards the middle of the room so I can be with you guys all. So we're first going to bring the soles of our feet comfortably together. Bend the knees. together. Let them be like 6 inches away from your pelvis. So you really do let your feet come out.
Yeah.
Get into the pelvis. Even because we have so much flexibility, but it's also drawing us in. So this time we're going to lengthen it so that you can get even more flexibility. So from here, feel the feet squeeze together. If it's comfortable for your hands out at your sides or, you know, by your head, whatever is comfortable for you, but lift the pelvis. And we're going to hold this for about 6 years. 6 years! Just kidding. But yeah, notice that even when you laugh, your belly and your body move in a different direction. So let yourself have that, what that is for you. Just kind of explore it. Just a couple more breaths. And then let your pelvis come down. If you want to stay up and it feels good to you, you can absolutely do that. The idea also is we don't want to exhaust ourselves. We really want to titrate. Small amounts to digest. Another breath in. Everybody exhale. Let those pelvises come down to the floor. With the feet and the knees. The feet together, the knees just fall out. Notice what it's like with your eyes open. Notice what it's like with your eyes closed. Maybe there's a difference there. Inhaling and again, squeezing the feet together. Lift the pelvis up one more time. Sometimes the whole body will even like, yeah, wiggle, shimmy. Yeah, and see how it like goes to that side?
Yeah.
So like feel that, like it almost like, yeah. Yeah. So you can work that just like in yoga, like just like your movement. You can kind of just work that. And everybody's body is so different. Really just let yourself have that moment to explore it. Yeah, good breath all the way up. And just like an animal, the diaphragm starts to expand and get that breath back in. One more inhale. Soften that exhalation to let those pelvises come back down to here when you're ready. Now with the feet and the soles of the feet, if that's comfortable for you, you can have them still together. Comfortably, the heels away from the pelvis. We're going to bring the knees closer together like a butterfly, bringing its wings up just an inch or two. Yep. And see if you can take a large breath into your chest, all the way down to your belly and your pubis. And then just soften your arms, shake your arms out, shake your chest out a little bit. Remember you're in there. And then squeeze the knees toward each other just another inch or two. If you need a pillow or anything underneath your neck, you can also do that too. How are we all doing in there, folks? Thumbs up. This is where I would typically start playing some Taylor Swift music because she's got that Shake It Up song. This is where we start getting into some of those endorphins. Your hips are still on the floor. Yes. This time we're going to keep the hips on the floor. The focus is here. squeeze the knees together. One or two inches. There, this one right there. Have you noticed that? Right tremor? Yeah. Just check it out. Imagine, see what it's like with your eyes open. See what it's like with your eyes closed. And then just take a moment to digest that for yourself. It's a new thing, huh? Or maybe not. Few more minutes to breathe into this one and then squeeze the knees together again. Just another inch or two. Letting your pelvis be super heavy on the floor. Lots of people have always talked about, oh, I'm in my process, I'm in my thing, let me experience this. Well, I'm going to interrupt everybody's process from time to time. You can always get back to it. This way I feel responsible in taking it up everybody. So that you're going to end up putting your feet down, flat on it. So yeah, just stretch your legs out. Just give yourself a moment to just digest what we just done. Just lay there. Yeah. Let those knees pop. Let those toes twitch. Give yourself a second to move those. Yeah, that's how it is. You'll get hot, you'll get cold. If you need a blanket, let me know. We just keep digesting. All right. So now we're going to come to bring our knees bent again. This time the soles of our feet flat on the mat. Now the feet are like 11s, right? But those heels want to come slightly out. Yep. Now, see if you can get your heels in line with your shoulders so that your body is symmetrical all the way down. So I would even bring your feet in just an inch or two. Yep. And this time, we're going to let the knees come out an inch or two.
Feet stay flat?
Yes. The eyeballs go too, huh? Yeah. The integration of the brain. Yeah, let that happen. That's okay. I'll be right here. I won't go anywhere. Always towards the middle of the thing. So yeah, this one. Keep the toes straight like 11. There you go. You notice that? Yeah. That's the psoas muscle. We always hear about our lower backs and, so many things that go on. It has so much to do with that psoas muscle. It's attachments, it's insertion points. You too. And you take your toes. That'll get more length from the psoas muscle away from you. And then just squeeze them free-flowing energy eventually moves so easily up and will just come through. So sometimes if you make a conscious movement and engage some muscles together, you can really feel that move on your own. Inhaling into the chest and exhale, squeeze those knees just a little bit closer together. You got some toe dancing going on over here. Yeah, that happens. Totally.
So,
Walking on here.
where's the pressure supposed to be at the bottom of our feet?
Yeah. Yeah, so here, come close. You can even bring them a little farther away. Here. There's that.
We're dropping to our hips.
No. Everything, this is your resting. In fact, the body knows what to do. The more you rest, the more you breathe, the more it settles.
So what would you keep coming in like the sciatic?
Well, it's the saraf muscle. It attaches to that lower lumbar and then down to the leg. And then go ahead and squeeze the knees together, just slightly more. How you doing in there?
It just moved.
Yeah, yeah. And you could move your hand too, and then see if it has.
It's too.
Right, so you can consciously take that too and move with it, so that it has more than one option to move.
Okay. And if I wasn't doing this in breathing, I would want to give sound.
Yes, absolutely. And there's always permission to do so. Sometimes the practice starts internally, and then sometimes random languages come out.
Okay.
Like, who's to know? Everyone has a different experience. It's just kind of playing with it. Yeah. You really aware there? How is it for you? Yeah. All right. So inhaling, still breathing into the system. Everybody give a big exhale out. Another inhale in. Another big exhale out. And again, it's still playing ever so lighthearted. And if you feel that your body is starting to feel the work that it's done, if there's any tiredness, or we can go ahead and start to let the legs extend out all the way straight. It's good to take the hands, start to rub them together so you can feel that friction and that warmth build from the inside. And then maybe take your right hand, put it on your belly, your liver, and then maybe take your left hand, put it on your heart, pancreas. I'm a big lover of my pancreas. Happy pancreas. Take a moment with those eyes closed. And just be thankful in the moment for everything this body, this human being, this breath. And their existence out of their existence. From here, I'll have you roll to whatever's most comfortable, your right or your left
imagine that you can still feel the curvature of your spine involuting, curling back into that heel ball. Our backs when squeaking.
This one's 20 minutes, the other one's 30.
And as you breathe, slowly start to feel life come back into the chest and the abdomen first. And just like waking in the morning, letting the fascia stretch when you're ready. Start to unfurl yourself, rolling out of your field, inspecting the world within and around you, back to an upright seated position, safely protecting your head, arms, or up. When I first learned Sanskrit, one of the first phrases, first lines that I was given was Loka, Samsta, Sukhina Bhavantu. And being a Spaniard growing up here in Loka just startled me so much that my interest was piqued from there and what the language of life had in store for me. And with this work, you know, I really truly believe that this makes all beings everywhere happy and free. And I'm very grateful to be able to share this with all of you. Loka, Samasta, Sukhina Bhavantu.
Namaste. Thank you all.
Can I chant it for you?
Go ahead. Please. This is
Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Join in. Loka Samasta
with yourself. So anything that loves you, or my favorite idea is treat yourself if you would treat someone you really love, especially in the next day or so. Hey, it's not always easy. So really love yourself. If you feel there's conflict around, if you feel like that, go ahead and take that space and time to really own your own space and drink plenty of water. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll be back on the 10th.